This week, there's been a bunch of weird updates to stories that we've been following. From a high-res screen upgrade for your deck, to Nintendo screwing their fans over yet again, to playing Tears of the Kingdom on my Steam Deck. Let's talk about everything that's been going on in the realm of handheld gaming this week. That's right, it's Steam Deck news time, and more. So first up, we've been following the rumors surrounding PlayStation's streaming-only handheld for months at this point, and this week Sony revealed the details. At the PlayStation Showcase this week, Jim Ryan, the president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, confirmed the existence of codenamed Project Q. According to Ryan, Project Q is a new streaming-only handheld that enables PS5 remote play over Wi-Fi. Now, Sony is no stranger to the handheld market, with the release of the PlayStation Portable, the PSP Go, and the PlayStation Vita. But where these devices were standalone gaming handhelds, Project Q is more of a PS5 accessory. At least that's how it seems. It's a supplemental device that relies on your local hardware to be of any practical use. It's a very strange looking device, if I'm being honest, like a tablet with a DualSense cut in half and glued to the sides of it. And it's a definite disappointment to anyone looking for an official follow-up to the Vita. With an 8-inch display at 1080p 60 FPS, Sony is aiming for a late 2023 release of the Project Q. Now, Sony has made several pushes into the cloud gaming sphere at this point, with 22 job listings last month on their website. So perhaps Project Q is some sort of Trojan horse that'll eventually work with more cloud gaming services from Sony. No word on that yet officially, but I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Leave me a comment and let me know. Next up, you may not know this about me, but I've been a huge handheld gaming fan for as long as I can remember. Well before the Steam Deck, in fact. Since I was a kid, I've had Game Boys, PlayStation Portables, handheld PCs, and other gaming handhelds. I still have multiple 3DS consoles here at the house, and I got wistful as Nintendo was closing the eShop. It honestly felt like the end of an era to me, and I mean, I've had an Ambassador 3DS since the day after launch, I think. And my 3DS has been by my side for a very long time. I played tons of Street Pass when I used to work at a college. It was an awesome experience. So you can understand why I have a special connection with the 3DS community. But not even a month after our community has collectively mourned the closure of the eShop, Nintendo goes and pulls a Nintendo. One last middle finger to their most loyal fans. A new 3DS system update with the seemingly innocuous description of further improvements to overall system stability and other minor adjustments have been made to enhance the user experience. Yet, at its heart, the new system software curtails the well-known and simple jailbreak methods documented on 3DS Hacks Guide. So, Nintendo giveth and Nintendo taketh away, and then taketh away again. Look, the 3DS homebrew scene is renowned for its resilience, and at some point this new system software will have a vulnerability discovered and it'll be easily jailbroken yet again. But as for right now, it appears that Nintendo just wants to screw over their fans. At this point, it's only safe to update to this latest version of the system software if your 3DS is already hacked. Until it is hacked, do not update your 3DS to the latest version. Next up, HDR is making some headway. So Linux is very often ahead of the curve when it comes to supporting hardware and new technologies. But then there are things that it just lags behind on. HDR is one of those places where it's been significantly lacking. Now, HDR, or High Dynamic Range, is a display technology that provides a wider range of color and brightness information to compatible displays. And while typically it's fairly strange to have Linux lag behind the other major players with new technology like HDR, the fact of the matter is HDR has lagged behind because it's part of the display stack. And let's be honest, due to the efforts of NVIDIA in particular, Linux display tech has been muddled and held back by proprietary nonsense for decades. They're only now releasing open source drivers, and you know what, AMD was guilty of it too for years until they got their act together. But thanks to the work of Melissa Woon, Harry Wentland, and Joshua Ashton, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your guys' name correctly, HDR support has seen a new set of patches aimed at delivering full HDR output within GameScope on the Steam Deck and SteamOS. Now, do note that this is specifically for external display output on the deck, as the internal display just doesn't support HDR. Now, while some people may lament the fact that this is, on the Steam Deck and not for desktop Linux. This is always the case. A new piece of technology comes out, implementations for that technology hit, and then a broader support is found across various distributions. So as this implementation progresses, we should start to see HDR output on other Linux distributions, and that's pretty exciting if you're a Linux fan. Next up, earlier this week, FX Technology made a splash with their announcement of the Deck HD mod. Now, this is a do-it-yourself upgrade for the Steam Deck that increases the native resolution to 1920 by 1200, again, a 16 by 10 aspect ratio. And the baseline SKU of the upgraded screen also has some kind of anti-glare coating. Now, this aftermarket display purportedly boasts 95% coverage of the sRGB color space versus the Steam Deck's 67%. Now, if that's true, such an upgrade would be a marked improvement over the Deck. Now, as a reminder, the screen that comes with the Deck is 1280 by 800, which has proven too high of a resolution for some AAA games, and some of these games end up requiring FSR upscaling to reach a stable frame rate on the Deck. So if 800p is out of reach for some games, 1200p is definitely out of the question too. However, it should be noted that I've been able to run many games at native 4K from the Deck without it breaking a sweat. Two-dimensional indie titles could easily take advantage of this upgrade without an issue here. And while this upgrade does have its pros and cons, I do have to wonder what kind of support will Game Mode actually have for this aftermarket upgrade. I mean, Game Mode on the Deck expects to have the original screen running at 800p. Now, will Game Mode run at 800p and upscale? Or will Game Mode run at 1200p when this screen is detected? Will this screen support the same brightness values as the official screen? One of my favorite things about the Steam Deck is being able to turn the brightness all the way down and have a comfortable experience in a dark room. Finally, will this screen be underclockable in the same way that the current screen is? Will the quick access menu be able to support changing it to 40 Hz mode? Lots of questions here, and I'm interested to know what you think. Will you be upgrading your Deck screen? Sound off in the comments below. And while you're down there, why not like that smash button? It's the easiest way to tell YouTube you want to see more videos just like this one. Now, I want to thank the amazing folks over on Patreon, my YouTube members and my ViewSync Premium subscribers who make what I do here a reality. It's because of these guys that we're able to continue making videos just like this. So if you want to support this show and the work that I'm doing here, you can make a pledge with the links below. And thanks. The Steam Deck is a slick little machine capable of emulating the Switch and many of its most popular games. I've been playing my copy of Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch Pro, and it's been a blast, if only at 20 FPS. And all of it is made possible thanks to community-made software, emulators that are capable of running commercial Switch software on the PC. And since the Steam Deck has proven so immensely popular, developers of these applications have been able to deliver some Deck-specific changes that enable better performance for the emulator on the custom APU at the heart of the Steam Deck. One of these emulators is Yuzu. In their latest early access update, version 3604, they've got 3 changes that should improve performance of commercial Switch games. Tweaked garbage collector to be more aggressive in favor of Steam Deck, limit device access memory for integrated devices to 4 GB, and prevent VRAM usage from filling up in integrated devices like the Steam Deck. It's excellent to see these changes, and this is an example of what I was talking about in my last video. If developers take their time and make optimizations for Deck a priority, then it will be relevant hardware for years to come. Now, the community is obviously doing this, but I'd like to see AAA developers do this as well. Leave me a comment and let me know if you want to see that too. All right, next up, let's talk about the new software updates for the Steam Deck beta channel. As always, Valve is delivering some excellent changes here. Last Friday, we saw updates to the way Steam Deck handles time zone localization in game mode. There were also updates to desktop mode and the desktop overlay, including some quality of life improvements to window management. And then on Tuesday, we saw a change in game mode to include a show spoiler option for hidden achievements. They also added a search field in the global achievements tab. There's also a restore time zone setting in the general panel now. Various fixes were added to desktop mode with this update, and among the other fixes were some that were aimed at the achievement panel in desktop mode. Now, we've gone quite a while without a stable Steam Deck update, and I would love to hear what features you guys want to see in an upcoming release of Steam Deck OS. I'm working on a video of fixes and features that I want to see in the Steam Deck, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Now, if you believe in the work that I'm doing here, you can support the show with a monthly contribution over on Patreon. You can also pick up some of these t-shirts that I did, Steam Deck inspired logo designs, riffing on retro consoles. I'd love to hear your guys' take on these. You can pick these up in the links in the description as well. That's going to do it for now, though. Thank you for spending time with me here today, and I'll see you guys next time.